proceed.
Chris Sample for the defense. Your Honor, opposing counsel, Mr. Park, members of the jury, no access, no accident. On August 18, 2010, two children, Sydney and Jesse, were left home alone at Sydney's house. Together, both children ran to the parents' bedroom and opened the safe, which with a combination that Sydney had. And inside that safe was an unloaded revolver. Now together, both children began playing with it, pointing it at different things around the house, but not once pulling the trigger. Now, what you'll learn in today's case is that Sydney, she disappeared for a few minutes. But when she came back, she wanted to play a game. She wanted to play roulette. Nervous, but agreeing to play one round, Jesse sat down believing the gun was not loaded. Sydney then picks up the gun, aims it at Jesse, and pulls the trigger. By chance, it doesn't go off. She then puts the gun down, and she slides it over to Jesse. And Jesse mimics what Sydney does. Picks up the gun, aims at Sydney, but this time, the gun went off. And sadly, on that day, Sydney lost her life. Now, we the defense, we sympathize with Mr. Park. No parent should ever have to be put in the position that he's in today. But members of the jury, today with the defense, we ask that you put your emotions to the side. Because this trial is not about emotion. It's about the law. In today's case, Mr. Park is alleging that Jesse's mother should be held liable for the death of Sydney Park due to intentional shooting. Now, this is a burden that they have and that they must prove alone. We, the defense, we are assuming an affirmative defense of comparative fault. Now, what this means is that Mr. Park did not have a duty of care to store the firearms safely. That's not what we're saying in today's case. What we're saying is, because the firearm that Mr. Park owned was stored improperly, this is what led to the accident that occurred on August 18, 2010. And because of this, the law says that Jesse's mother should be held not liable. Now, members of the jury, this is not a criminal case. This is a civil case. Now, all this means is that we have to show this affirmative defense to you by a preponderance of the evidence, meaning more likely than not, 50% in just the feather's weight. Now, to show you how this accident could have been prevented without access, we, the defense, will call 3 different witnesses. First, we'll call Jessie Duran to the stand herself. She'll recount the day of August 18, 2010. She'll tell you how it was Sydney who had the combination, Sydney who had the gun, and Sydney who wanted to play this game. Second, we'll call before you Dr. Ash DeRosa, a firearm expert. He'll come before you and he'll explain to you just how the firearm was stored and what steps did Mr. Park take and how this firearm was easily accessible to anybody in the home. Lastly, we'll call before you babysitter Danny Brooks, who babysat Sydney and Jesse throughout the entire summer. Now, she'll come before you and tell you how Sydney, months before this accident, knew where the combination to this safe was and knew where the safe was itself and specifically what was inside that safe. At the end of today's trial, my co-counsel, Mr. Devin Peasley, will come before you. He'll come before you and he'll connect the dots. He'll show you how this accident could have been prevented if not the firearm was stored properly. And because of this, he'll ask that you find Jesse's mother not liable. We are very sorry for the loss of Mr. Park. Sincerely, we are. But as the trial begins today, we ask that you remember just one thing. No access, no accident.